Okay, so I just got the iPad 7 mini delivered to me, and honestly, huge props to Apple for their fast delivery service. You know what, I was actually thinking twice about making a video on this, but let me know in the comments if you're a fan of this device. And if you guys would like to check out the full unboxing video, you can find it over on my Instagram page. And yeah, enjoy the show. Now, form factor. This is where the iPad mini truly excels. It's practically for those who still want that iPad experience, but just in a smaller size. At 7.69 by 5.3 by 0.25 inches and coming at a weight of 0.6 pounds, the iPad mini is literally the definition of portability. It's so small and light that you might forget you're even carrying it in your little bag. For me, this is definitely my favourite iPad to carry around on the go. I've had the iPad 6 since it came out, and it has been my go-to device for scripting, planning my shots, and adding important tasks on my calendar. We still have the 4 speakers at the bottom, and they're pretty decent to say the least. The volume buttons sit in the same spot, a USB-C port, and a power button that also functions as a Touch ID sensor. Although I would have liked to see a switch to Face ID, we got an upgrade on the transfer speeds. We can now transfer files at 10 gigabytes per second, which actually comes in clutch as it allows me to transfer files quickly to my SSD drive. But for me, it's how good this feels on my hands. It's literally like a larger phone rather than an iPad. I mean, when putting my iPhone and the iPad mini side by side, they are very similar in size. The 12 megapixel wide rear camera and the 12 megapixel ultra wide front camera are still in the same place, and physically we can appreciate that there have been no changes aside from the blue and purple color options, and we still have Starlight and Space Gray. I really like the frosted blue finish on the aluminium chassis, which I think looks great. I guess the only difference is that the iPad mini is written on the back of the Mini 7 to help distinguish them from each other. And frankly, that's about it. And as for the unboxing experience, it is no different either, so you're not missing out on much. The base model now offers 128 gigabytes of storage with 8 gigabytes of RAM. And I have no complaints about that, especially considering that the previous model came with only 64 gigabytes of storage and 4 gigabytes of RAM, which I genuinely don't know how Apple got away with that. But my major issue has to be those thick bezels, because I feel like the iPad mini is already small enough, so it would have been nice to stretch that display out even more and give us a design with thinner bezels so that we can make the most out of its display. The 8.3-inch liquid retina display is literally the same as the last model, so no changes in that department. But honestly, that's not a bad thing at all because it still delivers that amazing image quality. Now picture this, let's say the iPad mini 7 came with an OLED display at 120Hz. It would literally be insane, and it could even end up being the best-selling iPad model in the entire lineup. This screen comes with a 500 nits liquid retina display at 60Hz while maintaining that 3:2 aspect ratio. I have to say, there's nothing wrong with the liquid retina display. I mean, if that's what you're using, you're still getting vibrant colors and excellent performance, so an upgrade may not even be needed. But here's my thought, after all that waiting, why didn't we get that smooth 120Hz OLED display like in the Pro models? I guess maybe Apple were just keeping that feature reserved exclusively for the iPad Pro lineup. Apple has really created a stunning screen that's almost perfect, but if you're someone coming from a 120Hz display, you will notice a difference. 500 nits of brightness on this device does feel a little underwhelming, and believe me, I'm not saying 500 nits isn't good. It's just that with so many phones this year raising the bar on screen brightness, it would have been great to see the iPad mini follow along. Either way, you can still enjoy using the screen of the device, especially when you pair it up with an Apple Pencil. The iPad mini 7 supports both the Apple Pencil Pro and Apple Pencil USB-C, However, the Apple Pencil 2 is not supported on both iPad models. I currently only have the Apple Pencil USB-C and it works flawlessly on this device. If you're a student or someone who takes a lot of notes, combining the Apple Pencil with your iPad can turn out to be one of the most important decisions you can make to improve your workflow. Also, the 3:2 aspect ratio makes it perfect for note-taking and carrying it around with you on the go. You can also opt for the Apple Pencil Pro, where you can take advantage of features like the squeeze gesture, gyroscope, and custom haptic feedback. When docking the Apple Pencil, it just fits seamlessly with its overall design, and it really doesn't impact the main camera on the top right hand side. Speaking of the camera, we still have a 12 megapixel front camera that sits on the left hand side when you hold the tablet in landscape mode. The iPad mini 7's 12 megapixel camera delivers sharp images, even capturing 12 megapixel wide at f1.8 with digital zoom up to 5 times, autofocus, panorama up to 63 megapixels, auto stabilization, geotagging, and we also have Smart HDR4 added on this year. You can record 4K video at up to 60 frames per second, and it's actually pretty good quality if you need to capture something for work. It also supports slow motion video at 1080p up to 240 frames per second. In terms of the camera setup, it's mostly the same as before, including the 12 megapixel ultra wide front facing camera at f2.4. That now comes with Smart HDR4 thanks to the new processor. Honestly, the camera on this iPad will be super useful if you need to scan your documents, contracts, receipts, and much more. I genuinely think this feature could prove to be super handy for businesses. Maybe this is asking too much from Apple, since this tablet's chassis hasn't been redesigned, but a repositioned front camera from portrait to landscape orientation would have been greatly appreciated, since most users tend to hold their tablet in landscape mode. That being said, both cameras deliver solid picture quality as they did on the previous Mini. The iPad Mini 7 has an A17 Pro Chip, which packs a 6-core CPU, 5-core GPU, and a 16-core neural engine, as it did for the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max, which therefore makes it a very powerful device for gaming or even some video editing tasks on CapCut. If you like, you can actually connect this to an external display, and it can support up to one 4K display at 60Hz, which is pretty cool if you'd like to switch up your workflow. Apple are claiming up to 10 hours of surfing the web on Wi-Fi or watching videos. Now I'm just going to talk about this from my experience so far. I began filming roughly at around 2 PM and I ended up finishing at around 11:30 PM. And to my surprise, it was still holding on. When putting this device to charge, we are getting just under 20 watts of output. Now, despite me constantly pushing it to its limits, it truly puts into perspective on how good the battery is on this device. And also, thanks to the new A17 Pro Chip, which truly combines performance and efficiency very well. But the real question is, who is this iPad really for? Now, of course, as a tech reviewer, it's difficult not to look past the minor upgrades. I would say this iPad has a variety of different uses, but it just truly depends on you as an individual. Because I feel like we live in a world where most people have more than one career path, along with different hobbies. So it would be nice to have a versatile device that can cater to all of that. If we look at this iPad mini from a form factor perspective, it can really be useful for students to carry around, accountants, estate agents, or even for businesses where they can easily showcase their data. And honestly, the list is endless. If you're a student whose life revolves around note-taking and portability is a priority, then do consider the iPad mini. I mean, this thing literally fits into pockets. And yeah, maybe that's just Apple's way of catering to those individuals who prioritize portability. Now, many people may feel the new iPad mini lacks a lot of these standout features, and believe me, I agree, especially with the absence of OLED and Face ID. While some users like e-readers, note takers, and casual media consumers may not mind that 60Hz display, for first-time buyers though, it's still a solid option. The Mini 7 starts at $499 with no price increase, which is actually a plus. The base model now comes with 128GB, which is a step up from 64GB, though in 2024, 256GB should be the bare minimum. But overall, This year we have faster performance, more storage, a portable design, gorgeous display, and a long battery life. And those reasons may be strong selling points for many. What I will say is that if this will be your first iPad mini, it's definitely worth it. But for those of you with an iPad mini 6, there's not much reason to upgrade. Also, when Apple Intelligence features like on-device image and text generation arrive, this device will be even more useful. But as things stand, the iPad mini 7 is a remarkable device for what it offers. I'm actually thinking of putting together a student edition video for you guys, so let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see that. Honestly, we worked super hard to put these videos out for you guys, so I would really appreciate it if you guys can hit that subscribe button. And I hope you actually found this video helpful, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you made it this far into the video, I really appreciate you guys, and until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.